gentlemen, and welcome to a quick tutorial, hopefully. My name's Amanda and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Oh, let me just move that over a bit so it's in shot. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and today I'm going to show you these mini milk cartons. They are so cute. Now, I know this is nothing new. It's not rocket science. You're all thinking, Amanda, you know, milk cartons have been out forever, you know. But, you know, I've not been a paper crafter very long. I've changed from fabric to paper, and I've never actually made a milk carton. So I'm making one today, and, you know, perhaps there are other people out there that haven't made one either. So you could learn with me. These are mini milk cartons. How cute are these? The square facings measure 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch, I think. So they're really good for using up your scraps. I mean, this one I used an offcut of white card, and then I mat and layered some offcuts that I had, because these only measure 1.25 by 1.25. Okay, so it's a really good way of using up your bits and bobs, you know, bits left over, and make some cute gifts. Not everybody is into Valentine's Day. Not everybody loves everything all red and white. So here's some alternatives. I've used some normal DSP from the Subtles range there. And this is from the brand new Falling in Love suite. So, you know, so you could have it as a Valentine's treat, a wedding favour on a table for your guests, a birthday treat, end of term treats for children, Easter gifts. You can adapt it however you want. This is just, you know, just 3 examples. So, without further ado, I'll put these to one side. I love them, they're so cute. So you start off with a piece of DSP or cardstock, depending on how sturdy you want it, but DSP is fine. It's only little, so you know you're only going to put little things in it, so it's not, doesn't need to be, you know, made out of bricks. So we've got 6.5 by 4.5, and then we're going to do some scoring. It's quite straightforward. Hopefully I won't mess it up for you today. So on the long side we need to score at 1.5, and then we need to score at 3, 4.5 and 6, and then we turn on the short side. Just bear in mind which way you want your paper to lay if you're using a DSP. So on the short side we score at 1.5. Oh, has that gone all the way down? 1.5, 3 and 4 1/8. Okay, 4 1/8. Then we can move this away, so we don't need it anymore. And we're gonna fold them, but just ignore that. I stuck something to my paper earlier, but I'm not wasting it. We're gonna fold and burnish all of those score lines so they're nice and crisp. I'm gonna get my chair. I don't know why I stand up, but my table isn't really like standing up height, so I'm going to sit myself down. I love how the American ladies have their craft rooms, and they have, like, you know, their craft tables are like the height of how we have our kitchen work surfaces in the UK, so they are standing up height. So I think it might be worth me having my desk raised, because I do find it more comfortable to craft stood up. Don't know why. Bit of something on there, get off. Right, so that's all of our scoring done. So this small fold here is going to be the very top. This side small fold is going to be where it attaches together. Okay, so bear that in mind of which way around you want your paper. Now the next step is we don't need this smallest section of the flat part, so we're going to cut that away. We don't need that. Okay, and then we're going to cut our 4 flaps, which will fold to the bottom of the box or milk carton. It's a variation on a box, you know. There's only so many combinations of boxes. It's just figuring out the size that you want. Let me just redo that score line, because it's looking a little bit dodgy. They're all just variations. It's a bit like hairstyles. There's only so many ways you can cut hair, not a hair, and then the rest of it is just a variation on a theme sort of thing. So I'm going to I am going to notch up without cutting all of my DSP into bits. If you notch the bottom flaps, they just lie a bit tidier. It's not actually 100% essential because they're square and they'll just fold on top of each other, but you know, Stampin' Up demonstrators, we like to do a bit of notching in. Makes things look more professional, like we know what we're doing. So I'm doing a bit of notching, like so. Now, this bit, take heed and warning from my earlier mistake. This small flap here is going to attach your box closed. So think on which side you're putting your adhesive on. Okay, you want to put your adhesive on the same side as what you're going to have on the outside of the box. So if you do it the other way around, it'll be wrong. So I'm running adhesive down there and I'm using fast fuse because it is a bit stronger. And then I can just turn that over and fold it. And then that, because it's all squares and it's all equal, I can fold that over and it'll just nicely lie on top like so. I've fast fused myself to paper again. Right, so what will happen is you will pinch the top of your box and that will turn into a milk carton. So just check that you've got the basic shape right. See if it needs any encouragement before you fold down your flaps. So when I'm folding down my flaps, I'm having one in and then I'm going to put fast fuse on there. And fold it over. And I'm just going to put my hand inside and just give it a little press. Then that folds over the top and that's going to fold over that way, so I'm going to put fast fuse on that one there. Again, think on what you're putting it in. Because I did do it wrong the first time. I was like, no, put it on the wrong side. So there is your little box, okay? Now, these do fit in. I got these little treats today, so let's see how many you can fit in there. We've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, you could easily fit 4 in there. Oh, I don't know. They might be a little bit, might be a bit squashed if we put 4 in. They're not gonna know. Shh, don't tell them. I'm gonna have one. Right. So there we go. So now I'm gonna do our sentiment. So, let me get some ribbon ready. Where's my seam binding? There's my seam binding. There's my whole thingy. And the stamp set that I'm going to use, I'll just finish my chocolate now, how rude, is this one, and it's called I Stamped This. Every so often I like to look for stamp sets that I don't see around an awful lot, that I don't see people using very much. Now this is quite a basic stamp set. It's got lots of little sentiments on. But the really good thing about this is they are small. So they're good for small projects. They're good for tags. And also, if you are a crafter who sells, you've got the Stampin' Up logo there with the copyright symbol. So, you know, you're covered at your craft fairs or whatever if you're selling on. So long as you display the Stampin' Up logo, you're fine. So this is a really, really nice set. And it's called I Stamped This, and it's a 16-part set. And so this is what we're going to be using today. And specifically, I'm going to use this one, which says, made by me, just for you. Okay. Have I got it ready? I have got it ready there. And I'm using a scrap piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to use Sweet Sugar Plum, because it's a lovely, lovely colour. Let me move some of this paraphernalia out there. So I'm just going to ink that up. They're just lovely, lovely little tiny stamps for your little projects, like I say, or your gift tags, labelling things like that. It's lovely. So there we go. I can move that out of the way now. And I'm going to use my 1 1/4 inch circle punch. And I'm just going to punch that out. Oop, there we go. And then because I'm an ink monster and I love inking, I'm going to have to put some ink on somewhere. So I'm using, what am I using? Pink Pirouette. Beautiful, beautiful, subtle colour. Just to ink the edges of that. So, try not to smudge the ink on my stamping. And just build up a bit of colour. It saves you stamping out a larger cardstock circle because it's only a little project. You know, you're limited for space, or if you want, you know, this is a good way of saving using up your cardstock, just ink the edges. I think it's a good way anyway. So I'm going to mount that on some form of dimensional. I'm just using up my scraps on my dimensional, of my dimensionals, getting my money's worth, because I'm at the end of my sheet of dimensionals, but I'm going to use all around the edge. I'm not wasting them. So I will stick those on. Peel that. Come on, don't be naughty. Peel that off. Am I in shot? I haven't checked if I'm even in shot. I got that carried away then. That's off. So I'm going to stick that now in the centre of my milk carton, like so. And then I'm going to use my hole punch. It's a singular hole punch. It is from Stampin'Up, and I can't remember the sizes of them. Don't know if it's a 16th or an 8th. I can't remember, but mine is the smaller one for little tiny ribbon holes. So if you're in the catalogue and you're looking for one, mine is the smaller one. I'm just going to put all this paper together at the top, and I'm going to punch one hole there, and it's quite a good little punch. It'll go through, you know, I mean, there's what's that folded up, you know, folded up DSP there, and it's gone through quite easily. It's a nice sturdy piece of equipment, basic book sturdy. Now I'm using seam binding, and this is I think it's Pink Pirouette. Is it? I'm not going to swear to it because I don't know. I think it is. And yeah, it just says seam binding. I think it's Pink Pirouette. It's in the you know, that section where they put reduced things. Oh god, what's it called? Oh, you know what I mean. It's in the reduced section. I can't think of the name of it now. And it's on special offer. And I've bought loads of it. Loads and loads and loads of it. I've been gifting it to customers. I've been using it willy-nilly because I just think it's awesome, and it's at an awesome price. Reduced rack, is it? I don't know. I can't remember. Forgotten. I do have the memory of a goldfish. Honestly, unless it's written down in front of me, I will forget. I'm terrible. I'm going to be one of those old ladies that walks around with like my nightie and no slippers and leaves the gas on. Definitely. I know I am. Because I'm like that now. Right, so I'm just feeding the seam binding through. You could use any ribbon, or you could use, using the Stampin'Up, have loads of like twine and all sorts of things. Loads of lovely embellishments. Don't forget to go and check those out, because they really do make your project stand out. And obviously the colours match. So all the thinking's been done for you. So I'm just going to tie that in a bow. I'm not going to get all like anxious because my bow's not right. No, I'm not going to get anxious at all. I'll just pause my video while I play with my bow for an hour. No, come on. Right, I'm not going to get anxious about that. You know how bows should look, okay? You'd take more time over it, doing it at home, obviously. And, you know, get all anxious yourself over the straightness of your bow. Now what I will do is I will just finish that off with a little rhinestone. I do like a bit of bling. I am quite, well, I'm a Leo. We like everything that's like the best. It's got to look the best. It's got to be shiny. It's got to be sparkly. So there you go. And I think those are really, really cute. That one there, I've used the Free Celebration ribbon. I've used the wooden embellishments from the Sending Love suite. As I say, this one is from the Subtles range, DSP. I've added another little wooden embellishment on that one. And this one is just the same as that one. And they're absolutely adorable. I love making them. I think you'll have fun too. Give it a try. Thanks for watching. Bye.